Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle. Thank you, as always, for spending time with us. Liars lose, truth tellers win. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Only in Washington does the guy who triggered massive inflation and thus huge pain for hardworking Americans congratulate himself for a job well done.
And the fundamental change I made was in the economy. What I decided to do was to change it to build the economy from the middle out and the bottom up. Wealthy still do very well, but the middle class and working class people do much, much better.
Really? Really? That must be why Trump destroyed Kamala on the issue of the economy and why, going into the election, a majority of Americans said they were worse off than they were 4 years ago. Nice going, Joe. Oh, and it's also why household debt has reached record levels, $17.9 trillion, and why loan delinquencies are also way up. It's because it's all great under Joe. But come on, don't fret. Biden says, because if you don't see the benefits of his policies yet, you're going to see them soon.
The one thing that I should have spent more time talking about is these things are going to take time to be put in place to connect between what's happening to the economy as a whole and what's going to happen to the middle-class Americans. As a consequence of what we've done, it's going to take a little bit of time.
Just wait. Help is on the way. Haven't we heard that before? Well, the man forgets the names of his own cabinet members, but I'm telling you, he never forgets how to lie about his record. You know what I like to say? Once a flim-flam artist, always a flim-flam artist.
Any other regrets that you have? Anything you wish you would have done differently?
I guess if I thought a lot about it, it'd be something I would have specifically done, but not generically. I set out to do two things: restore America's leadership in the world. I think we've done that. And two, to generate opportunity for ordinary people to have a shot in the economy. And I think we've done that as well.
Sure, that's all true, if you believe Hunter Biden was really snorting powdered sugar in all those old videos. Poor and middle-class Americans are still being hard hit. They're actually hardest hit by the Biden-Harris inflation legacy. And as far as our international reputation under Biden, it was nonstop embarrassment. Just ask the poor photographer at the G7. Can someone get Joe? Looks like he's wandered off again. We need to take this photo. The entire Biden presidency was a lie wrapped in incompetence. Even the press is trying to do mea culpas over their failures.
As a reporter, I have a confession to make. I should have pushed harder, earlier, for more information about Joe Biden's mental and physical well-being and any signs of decline. The White House and the people around Joe Biden were absolutely adamant that suggesting anything, asking the question about whether he was in some physical, mental, or both decline was offensive.
Everyone who was defending Biden, covering for Biden instead of covering Biden, everyone who failed to bother to ask the obvious questions about his deteriorating mental and physical state, they should move on to other work. Because what you did is an astonishing dereliction of duty. And yet, those same individuals, some now offering these heartfelt apologies, they parroted the Democrats' line that Trump was a threat to democracy. My question is, did anyone elect Steve Ricchetti or Jeffrey Zients co-presidents? Because apparently they, and maybe John Kirby, they were all running the country, not Joe Biden. That's democracy? They didn't have a problem with that, though, did they? But let's not kid ourselves. The D.C. Uniparty has survived using the same tactics Biden's been using. By lying, concealing, destroying those who question, and, of course, celebrating failure. Unfortunately for them, and fortunately for us, they ran into a buzzsaw of bravado and brains in Donald Trump. Since 2015, he's been an existential threat to the D.C. dinosaurs who've trampled on all of us for decades.
We have people that are morally corrupt. We have people that are selling this country down the drain. Our country needs a truly great leader. We need a leader that can bring back our jobs, can bring back our manufacturing, can bring back our military, can take care of our vets. We're going to be thriving as a country, thriving.
For the past decade, he's dominated politics, not just here, but across the globe. Is anyone more popular than Donald Trump? No. And it's not just because he's charismatic or is rich or has a beautiful family and a beautiful wife. It's because he never quit fighting against all odds. The modern political era has never before seen his type of guts and grit, and it is inspiring. Imagine not only having to stand up to the far left, the deep state, the legacy media, but also to the fools in your own party, to the FBI, to the corrupt prosecutors and biased judges. Think about that. He's so smart, he turned a mugshot into a campaign rallying cry.
In the end, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way. Here I am.
I will never be deterred. I will never stop fighting for you.
Liberals wonder why Trump supporters hung in there with him and why their support never wavered. It's because he never wavered, because he never stopped fighting, even after he was almost killed. The Democrats have no one, and I mean no one, who can match him. That's why they lost. And as this historic year closes, this man is the Democrats' legacy.
We've got to keep fighting. Got to make clear we're not going away. We're not going away. I'm not going away. I'm going to be deeply involved in the environmental movement, deeply involved in foreign policy, deeply involved in all the things I've been involved in before.
Talk about good news for America. Two utter failures, Biden and Kamala, apparently are both going to stay in the fight. Yay. I mean, delusional, venal, narcissistics. Yeah, Washington's just full of them. Why should we be surprised? But right now, they're on their heels, despite all the bluster. And the man who led to their crushing defeat, Donald Trump, has vowed to bring common sense and order to Washington. A practical foreign policy, more modest federal spending, a regulatory rollback, better trade deals, and a strong border. All of this can be done, which Trump started in his first term. We know that. This is all, of course, a threat to old Washington, and their lobbyists and activists are already gearing up for a fight.
Extreme MAGA Republicans are marching America to a painful government shutdown that will crash the economy and hurt working-class Americans.
Hundreds of pro-migrant protesters outside the ICE Federal Detention Center in downtown LA demanding
a sanctuary ordinance in every city.
Let them know that we're going to mobilize and we're going to fight. We're ready to continue that American tradition of resistance and protest.
Of course we know this. Transformative change isn't easy. You're going to have a lot of opposition, even if you defeated all the big players. But the more than 77 million Americans who voted for Trump in 2024, they're not going anywhere. And we know that the increasingly diverse coalition that he put together is only going to grow larger, with more Hispanics, more African Americans, more former Democrats, younger people, older people, all people together working for a better life for their families, which of course will make America strong again. So these are exciting times. This has been an amazing year to do the Angle every night and also just to mull over and hash over all these issues. And when we think about this year, know this: Donald Trump has given us a chance to make this one of those turning points in history, just like when Reagan won in 1980. So with the help of his cabinet, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, and others, he can do more than drain the swamp. He can return power to the people where it always belonged. And that's the Angle.